Hey everybody, this is Psycho Break along with
Tojo.
And today we're talking about Free Guy. That is the name of it. Yeah, Free Guy. And we just watched it and we came back home from the theater. It's about 12 past a freckle. But this movie is definitely pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll give a review on it, on what we think on it at the end of it, but the movie is definitely like something that's been done before, but it's different in a way. It's kind of like a love story / video game homage, really.
It really is. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of high hopes for it, other than the whole comedy aspect with Ryan Reynolds being in it. That's the only thing I was thinking. It's going to be a funny movie, but it ended up being something that would actually make you think.
Yeah, it did. And the special guest appearances on there that was done was pretty awesome too.
Oh, yeah. And the people that were in the city as the playable characters in Free City, they looked nothing like the actual human counterparts.
That's true. They didn't. And the other thing is that this actually, essentially, for those that don't know, the trailer kind of gives off of him just being this guy and things are going to crap in this world. But basically what it is he's an everyday NPC character, which means non-playable character, and which also, for those that don't play video games, that means a character that don't really mean anything. It's just a
background character.
Just a background character that you can hit, punch, kick, kill, whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't really essentially make anything to do with the game, or just something for you to do, really. And he ends up being in this loop, almost like Groundhog Day, in a sense.
That's what I was thinking about whenever it first came on. Like it was Groundhog Day every day. Same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. Him going to the bank, he's constantly saying good morning little goaty fish, or whatever he was saying.
Yeah,
it was actually really good on the comedy aspect of it was really good. One thing that me and D Tojo C was saying is that this is definitely right up there with Ready Player One. Not something that you would expect to be as good as it was, but it definitely was. It's kind of the only sad thing about on this is I don't see how they could actually do a sequel to this. Because they kind of resolved everything
in this movie, in all honesty. I mean,
yeah, and I don't see how there would be a second one. That would make no sense. The premise of the second one would have to be probably totally different people and totally different game developers and everything else. Essentially, what this is, that the world is kind of like that of Grand Theft Auto meets Fortnite meets Portal meets City Sim or something. It
has a lot of nods to video games.
Yeah. Mega Man, there's one where he's using the Mega Man Buster. And there's also the other weapons he used, like the Portal weapon and stuff like that. But didn't want to get into too much about the spoiler part of it on some things, but I will say that some of the pretty cool appearances and the nods to certain franchises, which now seems to be mostly Disney, was the fact of the one of the scenes where he actually had used some type of thing and was able to bring up a shield, and that shield, they did the Captain America music, and Chris, what's his name? Chris something.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine looks at his phone and goes, "What the fuck?" Yeah, it was hilarious.
It really was.
And he had the beard and everything like Captain America, and then Ryan Reynolds uses the Hulk fist, his arm turns into the Hulk.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And essentially what was going on is that this couple had created a game, and in that game...
well, they were just friends at the time, but the guy liked the girl, but whenever they created the game, it was for just a free world, kind of like Free City, but you wouldn't be playing really as the characters. It'd be more the gameplay go on.
And you just
watch it. But the character that he used that ended up being Guy, or Blue Shirt Guy, as they called him a lot on the movie, was basically based off of him because
So we're giving spoilers.
not really, but
Not really.
it was
okay.
basically based off of him. That way,
That's the punchline.
he would have something in the game. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, one of the funniest things to me about the entire thing was how it was just every day the same old, same old. Then all of a sudden, someone catches the eye.
Yeah. And like I was saying before, I had a brief commercial interruption, was the fact that, okay, so these two couples, they're on this mist of trying to create this game. However, somehow or another it doesn't get created, but this guy named Antoine ends up creating this game, swears up and down that he didn't steal their idea. However, in the movie, you find out that there may be a slight chance possibility that he did steal the idea, and it's up to Free Guy to actually pretty much exploit that, which turns out Free Guy ends up also being the algorithm, which was a live AI, which was proof in itself that he stole the code.
Which was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool. Especially when she told him he had to level up and stuff, and he spent all day doing that.
He was like, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
You beat up people. I don't do that.
Yeah. She's like, well, then you can stop them from shooting people. And
He found a way to be a good guy and actually level up.
yeah, trial and error, man. Trial and error. It was really good. It's definitely one of those, like, after we got done watching it and stuff, I was telling him, I was like, man, I definitely want to get this movie. Because, I mean, I liked Ready Player One, and this definitely reminded me of Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of it being based on the avatar going into the game and stuff like that, it's more like the game experiencing the people in the outside world. So that's pretty cool.
It was kind of a new take on it in a way, which is what I thought was fascinating about it.
Yeah, definitely a new take on it. Also, it kind of makes a little jabs on the gaming industry on how they don't really care about players. They just care about the end game being the money. The other thing is Anton kind of reminded you of a Final Fantasy villain, which was cool. But honestly, he kind of exploited exactly what people feel today, or people my age feel today, that the game developers don't give two shits about the gaming community. At the end, it's about that money. Now, not to say the developers don't care about the players, they do, but they got shareholders and people that don't have...
The ones over them are the ones that cares about all the money.
Yeah, yeah.
Developers do it for the love.
Yeah. The other thing is, too, one thing that was a cool jab at some gaming developing companies, that could be you take your pick, but there was this update called Dude. And essentially, once Free Guy was becoming this, or Guy in a Blue Shirt or whatever was becoming popular, Anton thought it'd be good to make a guy called Dude. And basically what it was going to do is the whole purpose of this update secretly was it was going to erase the old evidence in the game that that Anton had actually made the game using their code. And with this uploading, it was going to erase all the old code and get rid of the evidence. So it was up to Free Guy to basically exploit that, which was kind of cool. But what I was wanting to say, I get so...
Yeah, Dude had half a brain.
Yeah, he had half a brain. Like, he would say things like... Catchphrase. Instead of saying what the catchphrase was, he'd say catchphrase. And then he would say something like, loud laughter, ha 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 ha. He'd go loud laughter, and it was like crazy. And pretty much it was a souped up buff version of Ryan Reynolds with super white teeth and everything. And basically over exaggerated Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. The only cool thing about that was that Anthony had a blue shirt tattoo on the chest.
Yeah, he had a blue shirt tattoo on his chest.
So that was a definite jab, but was funny about it.
Yeah, this definitely, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give this a 9. It's definitely, if you get a chance to watch it and you're wanting something that's going to be entertaining and funny / romantic, and you got a loved one nearby and stuff, this would definitely be something I would recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Because it covers all the bases. It's got your love story, it's got your actions, and for the gamers, it's got your gaming in it. So, honestly, that would give it a 9 out of 10. What would you give it?
Honestly, for me, I would say as far as for the movie, I would give it an 8.5. Not to knock on anybody, it's just I'm not a big fan of these kind of movies. It's just the whole comedy and the love interest and all that is what gets me on there on why I'm giving it 8.5. But as far as watchability, rewatching it again, I would definitely do it. I'll rewatch it right now. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's definitely worth getting or worth watching. If you do see it and stuff and you happen to check it out, definitely do so. It's just one of those movies that does tie everything in together in it. There's not really a plot hole in it really, because they kind of sum everything up. The only thing is the only con I would say about this movie though is they spend a lot of time explaining a lot of stuff to the point that by the time the movie's actually getting to the point where you're like, okay, let's go, you still find yourself in a tutorial phase in this movie. And it's kind of like, because of the fact that it repeats a lot. At one point when they repeat the drive,
and there's Ginger.
Yep. At one point when they repeat the drive and stuff, the movie reboots, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And then stuff, so it acts like that when he does that. But honestly, it kind of gives an insider on a lot of stuff on the gaming thing. Whoever wrote this and thought of this is pretty damn clever. But to wrap it up and stuff, I enjoyed the movie. Ginger is enjoying sniffing on the table and everything. If you notice, the belt's not here. I moved to a new location. I'm in witness protection after that show triggered. No, I just turned the table the other way. But anyways, if you like what you see here, be sure to click the notification bell and also subscribe to DTojoC as one of the Chainbreaker picks. Also check out Big Bus's channel as well. He's got 7 videos on there, but definitely hit him up and stuff and message and stuff, because the more likes he gets, maybe he'll start adding some more videos on there. Guy's really good with music. Justin Pipkins gave us a shout out, or not a shout out, but messaged us on Hangouts saying on our last video, he said he really liked the video, he liked the shirts, just said our music was too loud and stuff, and if we could make it lower. So for him, we will make it louder. Thank you, Dustin. The original thing we did on the last video is we actually had, what was that song?
Spoiled for a Fight by AC/DC.
And unfortunately, we couldn't upload it to YouTube because the copyright claim strikes because of the things triggered, so we had to use something else. But anyways, this movie, if you have a chance to watch it or rent it or check it out for $5.99 or whatever, definitely rent it. If you decide, this is one of those movies that if you're not sure, I would definitely rent it first.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know what you're getting into. But after us watching it, we're definitely going to probably end up purchasing it, just because it's one of those movies that you probably end up watching again.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to probably end up watching it myself later on. My dad, who actually is not a big movie fan, will probably end up enjoying this.
Yeah. Well, and as always, guys, if you like what you see here, click the links down below and stuff, and follow and subscribe. Let us know. Leave a comment. Hit that like button, because that definitely helps us algorithm-wise. And as always,
break every chain.